Hello, friends. You were getting this little video because you were either my Juice Plus customer at some point in time or you are my current Juice Plus customer. And we've added some friends to the Healthy Living portfolio over the last couple of years. Many of you guys know what they are. You're likely getting the Juice Plus emails, but some of you might not be. Maybe you've opted out, which is totally okay. But I wanted to send you a personal message today. I hope you're having a great summer. And I just am so passionate, if you know me, you know that I'm passionate about inspiring healthier living. The thing about Juice Plus is it's not like an overnight, miraculous experience. This is about foundational lifestyle. It is about building rituals into your day, into your week, into your month, into your year, and into your life, right? So many of you have been my customers for probably over 20 years. I cannot thank you enough. It's more though about the investment that you've put into yourself. As I am 48 years young, I'm experiencing, peers passing away, peers dealing with major life challenges. And I'm so grateful that I grasped the importance of prevention in my 20s. And now it's just that I'm seeing firsthand my decision in my 20s to embrace prevention and start building daily habits above and beyond Juice Plus. That's just my foundation, but for movement, for taking my sleep seriously and tracking that, and making that a priority, to making sure I'm hydrated, to making sure, right, I'm exercising, I'm moving, and in this season of life, I've had to switch from, doing the high intensity that I always used to do to, yes, a couple days of high intensity, but really building that muscle mass and focusing not on being bulky, ladies, you're not going to get bulky, but on building muscle, because unfortunately, especially once we hit our 40s and beyond, it just really is difficult if you're not being intentional to put it on and to maintain it. We lose a certain percentage of muscle mass every year. And again, this is why that older population is our most vulnerable, because when you lose muscle is what helps to regulate your blood sugars. And having stable blood sugar is so important. And muscle is your energy centers. This is where your will for life and living come from. So the more muscle you have, the better your quality of life. Yes, muscle makes people aesthetically look good, but it's so much more than that. And so I'm coming in here today just to give you a little bit of health wisdom and inspiration. I do want to talk about some of the Juice Plus products that are here and maybe some things that are coming. And I'm going to be real honest. I have a goal with my Juice Plus business. I used to kind of I want you guys to know that I care about you first and foremost. Like, you come first, and my, income opportunity comes second. But I also this is a business. This is what provides the roof over my kids' heads. It's what's helping us to, pay for private schools. It's what's helping us to the best we can, our kids, for cars and insurance and college, and it all gets really expensive. So hopefully you respect, this is my field that brings me income. And so I do want to grow, and there's no better place to grow from but the people who love the Juice Plus products. And so we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I actually guess I didn't bring them over. I had our tried and true, just fruit, veggie, berry bottles, right? Those capsules are always going to be the OG, right? They are who brought us to the table. It is what took me from a 25-year-old on 8 prescription medications to getting off all of those medications in my 20s. Now, I get it. Not everybody has major things that are going on in their health that they need relief from. But it's those capsules that today, when I a few months ago tested my biological age, helped to show that me staying consistent with that habit over the last 23 years, my biological age was 12.8 years younger than my chronological age. So biologically, I've been protecting my cells and helping to slow that aging process. Because today is the best day to make that decision. Yes, you can't go back 23 years ago to when I started. And I'm sure I wish I could have gone even earlier, right, than 23. I wish I wouldn't have walked through all of the health challenges I did as an infant and as a child. But honestly, that walk is what led me here to be with you guys today, telling the story. So the OG Nobody compares the fruit, veggie, berry of the Juice Plus product lines. That will always be important. I love, if you pay attention at all to the health and wellness space, you're going to hear all of the different doctors talking about the importance of prebiotics and polyphenols and antioxidants, and like that's what Juice Plus is. They are the broken down micronutrients of over 30 different plants. You're getting 30 different plants in your body on a daily basis. They are prebiotics, which we'll get into that in a little bit, but they help to feed all the good gut bacteria that you have. And you may not understand how your gut health system works. Whether or not you decide to add more Juice Plus products to your portfolio or at all, hopefully I just can be a resource for you. Just know that I'm always happy just to have conversations with you if you're walking through something. And if I don't have the answers for you, I have a lot of great resources and networks of people who I can help point you in the right direction or help you think about something differently. But my intention is to pull people away from the traditional medical model. Right? I think about swimming, and I used to be a lifeguard and I was a swim instructor. And the far more important one was the swim instructor. It was teach people how to swim. That was the one that was more important to me, being a lifeguard, right? Because I'd have to save people all the time unless I taught them how to swim. And then I wouldn't have to save them. And that's kind of where we are today. I want to teach you to swim so you don't have to be saved by the medical profession, because I have a son who last summer got diagnosed with a disease process, and he is doing phenomenal, truly, with the help of one of our newer products that we'll get into in just a little bit. I'll try to make this not too long, so bear with me. But my point is that medication that he has to take costs over $5,000 a month. I understand why people go through medical bankruptcy, right? We've had to do multiple colonoscopies as he was 18 years old. Like, that's crazy. We are just bombarded and exposed to so much more in our culture today. Likely you've heard about microplastics and how we're so exposed. You know, that's why I've started, like, I try and not get coffee in coffee cups anymore. I try to get them in, I just bring my stainless steel and I ask them if they'll fill my coffee in there instead. You know, I'm trying to limit my exposure to plastics. I'm trying to, because I have a predisposition to Alzheimer's and dementia. It's also a motivating force, right? I want to be able to have my mind and not have to be a burden to other people as I get older. But I also want my kids to be able to have kids and to reproduce. And that is a problem. Infertility rate is growing 1% every year. And a lot of that has to do with the amount of microplastics and forever chemicals, and they're called PFAS, that our kids are being exposed to, that are affecting their hormones and disrupting them. And so these micronutrients help to clear some of that stuff out too. So I'm on a mission. And so our fruits and vegetables and berries are always going to be like the number one. Like, again, it's not sexy. You don't necessarily feel different. It's more about the consistency over time and how that effect compounds. And it's the diseases you don't get, or the illnesses that were like less severity and shorter duration. And the encouragement is always, you're going to change some lifestyle habits along with it. And it is a catalyst to help with some of those changes, right? It's not the end all be all. I've never pretended that Juice Plus was this magic cure for anything. And I don't want you to hear that today. But it is a huge foundation. So let's go on to the next, just because this has been around the longest, shakes have risen in popularity since my oldest was young. I wasn't a big shake drinker. He's 19 years ago, but today, right, we are, because we want to get protein in easily. We want to get fiber in more easily. And there's no shakes that compare to the amount of fiber and protein together. And if you add like a nut milk, whether it's almond, oat, soy, if you add a clean dairy alternative to any of these, you're going to be over 20 grams of protein, which is great. You want to try to aim for 30 grams of protein in your breakfast time, or actually each meal. You want to kind of have a minimum of at least 30 grams of protein. But here you're getting some micronutrients. The chocolate and vanilla are our OG. You can drink them by themselves, or you can mix them with stuff. Now, these two both are 140 calories. They have more natural sugars in them. So this has 10 grams of sugar, which in the grand scheme of things, you guys, this has 7 grams of fiber and 14 grams of protein. This is not spiking your sugar because, yes, there's some natural sugars in it, but because it has the fiber and the protein, this keeps your blood sugar stable. And what happens when you keep your blood sugar stable, you don't get hungry. That those natural GLP-1s. Also, this is feeding good gut bacteria. So it is producing more natural GLP-1s. So this keeps you fuller longer. And because you're stabilizing your blood sugar, you're not having cravings for that processed food. So that's a really great thing. Well, we just came out with a strawberry flavor. I absolutely, my particular taste palette, like I feel like it smells like bananas. I'm not a banana fan. I'm just not. I don't know why. It's my thing. However, I can mix this with frozen cherries and frozen blueberries, and I don't taste the banana as much. It does have the strawberry flavor. But I'm able to like drink this. Why would I want to drink this? Well, because this one's only 100 calories. So if you're somebody who's trying to have less calories in, but you want those calories to be really high quality in your day, because maybe you're on a weight loss journey, this has an additional gram of fiber. So now you're getting 8 grams of fiber, because fiber really is king. I would say protein and fiber are two of the most important macronutrients we need to be getting. The fiber is going to feed, they are prebiotic. They're going to feed those good gut bacteria. You're going to hear me keep saying this because when it comes to like systems in your body, the one to focus on for optimal health, wellness, longevity is going to be your gut, because it is connected to every other organ system. And the reason is because we take in our fuel from the outside, we break it down, and it crosses into our bloodstream there in our lower intestine, in our gut. That's why it is so important. And then every other organ system is connected from there. So this only has 2 grams of sugar. So if you're trying to go low sugar, you're trying to lower calorie, but you still want high nutrient density, you want fiber, good protein, this has been a really fun addition to the portfolio. So let's talk about gut health. Now, you guys, I am on all the products. I'm a product of the product. I believe in this company. I know the quality steps and measures they go through. All of our products are NSF certified, which is a third party that tests to make sure what we say is in the bottle or in the bag and that there's no banned substances, no contaminants. Think about this crazy, like they're calling it whatever, diarrhea lettuce or whatever. There's some other E. coli breakouts and some blueberries from somewhere down south. Anyway, they test every one of our products. All of ours are plant-based products. They all are coming from whole food. It is a food-first approach to filling in these gaps, and instead of these isolated supplements that so much of the world is used to. But let's talk about this. This is a 2-step gut health system. This is a prebiotic fiber. So these are 6 more fibers that aren't in any of these products. These are things like acacia fiber, like artichoke, like, there's another really big one that we don't get on a daily basis and it's escaping me. Acacia, artichoke, chicory root. These have clinically, like if you looked at the 6 fibers that make up this, they have clinically based outcomes that are hugely significant for health. And then we've got the little tiny, right? This is, if you've ever taken a Juice Plus capsule, they're a little bit bigger capsules. But this probiotic is unique because if you take a probiotic, see, it's kind of tiny, right? It's tinier than the other ones. When you take a probiotic, you guys, most probiotics, like 88% of the probiotics that are on the market today, they don't survive the hydrochloric acid of your stomach, and they break down. They're pretty fragile nutrients. So they break down and they're not even getting to where they need to get to be able to do their job. So most people take a probiotic, but they're like, I don't really notice the difference. You're likely to notice the difference with a prebiotic because it's fiber and it does feed the existing, probiotics you have in your system. But when you take this is a strain of 9 different probiotics for 20 billion CFUs, which just mean colony forming units. These are specifically picked because of how they're clinically made. So they'll get to the lower intestine, and then these fibers feed these bacteria, and then they produce acetate, butyrate, and propionate. You don't have to know what those mean. Those are called postbiotics, and that is what heals the gut lining. It is huge because this is actually our second layer of defense. The amount of microbes that we have on the that are still technically on the outside, those are our first line of defense. And unfortunately today, our lifestyle, things we eat, things we're exposed to, medications we take, If you drink alcohol, all of those things wipe out the good bacteria. Even ibuprofen, Tylenol, pain relievers, like medications, wipe out the good guys that you have that are at that wall, like to try to protect it. And when you make them weak or you kill them off now, that lining is vulnerable. And that lining starts opening up and you get things that are called leaky gut. So things are crossing that lining into your bloodstream that shouldn't be. So then our immune system has to overreact and we stay in low grade inflammation. And that looks different on all of us depending on your genetic predispositions. So this was a game changer. You know, my son last year had 3 months of loose stools. Long story short, he had taken an antibiotic for a little bit of back acne that he had. I wish I would have never filled that prescription. I should have attacked it naturally. I didn't. And though he ended up it triggering Crohn's disease. And it took us 3 months. He lost 30 pounds. He did not have a good quality of life last summer. And 3 days before I sent him to college, we got the diagnosis. And this entered the picture. And in 5 days of taking this, he went from completely loose stools to completely normal stools, which was incredible. And in 3 months from first colonoscopy to second colonoscopy, he completely got put in remission, and they did the biopsy and said if they never knew that he had Crohn's, they'd never be able to tell. So that is, again, I'm not saying it's a cure, but I'm saying it is huge. The amount of money I spent to try to fix him last year, and then this entered the picture and like completely changed it all. If I can give any parent relief, and again, it's not just specific with that, any kind of gut challenge. And I did a whole talk on gut health and I break it all down. If you guys want that, let me know. I'm happy to send it to you. Last but not least, I have to speak to this because you might have heard about your nervous system or tap your vagus nerve or like tapping into your parasympathetic. Like most days, like we need our sympathetic system. We need to wake up, we need to work, we need to function, right? You need your sympathetic system, but we also need our parasympathetic system. We need it to lower down. We need our parasympathetic system to kick in before each meal so that we can rest and digest. And that is a common problem, is that we're still in fight or flight or freeze when we're eating and we're not fully breaking down and digesting our food. And that can lead to some challenges. But we need that rest and digest, right? We need to tap into our parasympathetic to fall asleep at night. And so I want to speak to, well, gosh, I'll circle back to that in just a second. So this is called Luminate. And this is honestly the last of our new products that I'll tell you about. We have 2 flavors. So watermelon lime just launched. We have berry mango. This is my tried and true. Obviously, it was the first. You can drink them both hot or cold. The watermelon lime, I don't think I'd like it hot. I'm just being honest. I love and look forward to, it is my ritual to wake up in the morning and drink my berry mango hot. I taste the more fruity notes. It's sweeter. When I drink it iced, I can taste like there's sage in here. So if I drink it iced, I can taste a little more of the earthiness, a little more of that sage. The watermelon lime, I don't taste that sage in. I like it iced. I feel like the ice then brings out the sweeterness of the watermelon lime. So I do this one in the morning and I do this one midday. Do you have to do 2? No. But what I tell you is what is happening in your body. This helps to lower, again, you're going to have a certain level of stress hormone. You need it to wake up. Cortisol is not altogether a bad guy. We just don't want to have too much of it. And unfortunately, in our society, we do. And so I drink this first thing in the morning to kind of help calm some of that I'm walking through in the season of life. It helps me to have less intrusive thoughts. I have more energy. I'm able to lock in, to focus, to get things done. I'm able to be sharper. I'm able to have better recall, not like walking into a room thinking like, where did I put my keys or like word finding. But like anything, it's about consistency. When I drink 2, it shows up on my Whoop. So my recovery is better. My heart rate variability is higher. That's a measure of recovery and health. My sleep scores are better. So having 2 a day, I'm curious, and I'm not sure about this, but I almost feel like it's a compounding effect. So when I drink 2 and I do it consistently, like it's building up. So I'm having more benefits with 2 than just 1. So I could talk to you guys all day about these benefits. So feel free, if you have questions about what you're particularly walking through in your season of life, please don't hesitate. Text me 314-276-4489. Let's have a conversation. Our fruit veggie berry, we came out with this in a drink format a couple years ago. And I still like, I'm a capsule girly. It's part of my routine. I look for, I do my capsules. That's easy peasy. Some people get capsule fatigue though, and this is a way to get the same benefits of fruit, veggie, berry, but in a drink. And all of our drink powders can be mixed together. They taste really good. You can mix all of them with bubbly waters. Actually, I've even had some friends who use the Luminate and make cocktails. So do with that what you will, but you can make some fun mocktails too if you don't drink. But this is just a great alternative for people who don't like drinking or eating capsules. What I will say about this versus these two, these are thinner. These have the contents of those capsules. So it has thicker sediments. It's heavier sediments. So you want to keep shaking it up or get one of those whisks. It's a thicker consistency. It doesn't taste bad, but some people just don't want to have that little bit of a thicker drink every day. Some people don't care, don't mind it. And like the way that you're going to remember to take it is the best way for you. I don't get hung up on that. It's just about getting the nutrients in your body on a daily basis. So that is the main thing about the products today. And then I want to bring up the opportunity. So whether you have a desire to do anything from, an income producing standpoint or not, I know it's normal today to have subscriptions. We have, partnerships and subscriptions with Costco and with Amazon. And some people have it with food services, right? Food delivery services. And we live in a day and age, it makes sense. You guys have either been my customer for a very long time, or it makes sense that you want more of these products. So the partnership really is a no-brainer, especially this month. It is only $10 to sign up, actually through the end of this month, because I have a challenge for $10. And when you place a 300-point order or higher, you will get $100 worth of free Juice Plus products. They're going to send you 5 servings of Luminate. They're going to send you, I think, 5 servings of Superfood. They're going to send you 5 servings of chocolate, 5 servings of vanilla. They're going to send you 5 packets of the purple gummies, the berry gummies, the fruit and veggie gummies. So, and some brochures. So you can keep that all in house, or you can share it with the world around you if you want to be somebody who passes along inspiring health. So I think that's all I want to say. I am trying to earn myself this trip to Punta Cana. I need 2 partners by the end of the month. Absolutely. There's no have tos. The product is for everyone. The partnership isn't, but I do think it's a no-brainer, especially if you've been a customer for a long time. It is the best price for you. And of course, I want the best for my customers. And so I want to pass along that retail sales profit to you. So if becoming a partner makes sense, please do not hesitate. Reach out, respond to however I sent this to you, and we'll get you started. So there's so much great stuff to share, but this is already too long. And I hope you guys are all having a great summer. Thank you for listening to me, and we'll talk soon.